Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as the United States. It's April of 1968, and we are at war with Japan following their unprovoked and infamous assault on our fleet at Pearl Harbor, which sank exactly one heavy and one light cruiser. Well, they have 14 CVs in the Central Pacific right now. I would assume they can't stay there, but for now, we are going to have to respond. Where is the one CV of ours that's not? Oh, we have one on the west coast. Well, alright, let's take a look at our fleet and see what we can get out there. Our two new battle cruisers are not quite finished yet. We're 2.5 years from finishing the Hancock class of carriers, unfortunately. But in the meantime, we do have all the Montanas, and we have the Yorktowns. So probably one of the Shangri-Las is... forgot about that. All of the Shangri-Las and Yorktowns, along with the Montanas, Oriskany, heck, probably the United States is all of our newest heavy cruiser classes. I mean, we're going to need to send a lot of ships to the east, so without too much ado, let's get... I know not all these are worked up, but we're just going to have to live with that. Let's go ahead and get pretty well the entire modern fleet underway immediately, including certainly all the wardens and walks, and probably 30, I think that's 34, it's probably not. Well, let's get all these to the Central Pacific straight away. We don't have anything like the base capacity for them, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Alright, first of all these Ericssons that were in reserve, please. Whoops, not that. Trade protection. And then these couple also trade protection. And whatever's left here that's not on trade protection needs to go with the fleet to the Central Pacific. Hopefully that's everything going to the Central Pacific now. Yes, okay. So that's good. Everything is activated. Gunnery. Damage control. That's going to cost a lot of money. Oh well, let's do it anyway. We're going to have to pause all of these carriers, though. Otherwise, we will promptly go bankrupt. We're probably going to have to pause the other two as well. Hopefully, we can get through the two battle cruisers at least, because they would be nice to have in this war. Now, Japan's fleet has not fully recovered from the last time we beat them in a war. They are still pretty short on... I mean, they have only one capital ship with guns, which is not that terrifying at all. Not terrible, but not terrifying. They don't have a whole lot of heavy cruisers or light cruisers, although pretty equivalent to us. Nor do they have a whole lot of destroyers. But what they do have is a whole lot of aircraft carriers, including this class of 6 Taihos with 117 jets apiece, and the 4 Zuikakus with 121 jets apiece. Plus, they're building a 5th Zuikaku due soon. Those 10, well, soon to be 11, well, and they've got the Unryus with 128. I'm pretty sure they are jet operations, they just don't have angled flight decks. They might have even been refitted with them, so... They've got about 14 carriers. Well, really, I mean, these are pretty good, too. Almost all 17 of their carriers, except for, where's the one? Except for Shinano, which is quite old, but the other 16 are quite terrifying. So... we'll see what happens. I mean, they can't stay in the Central Pacific. They have no bases, so I assume they're going to have to fall back to Northeast Asia. We both have a lot of bases there, so we'll see what happens. Apparently I need more tonnage on foreign stations owing to the recent explosion of half the fleet that was on foreign stations, so we can fix that pretty easily. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. Hopefully that force I moved, we're going to have to decline that. And that. We need to get our fleet out there first. Did they just say they'd struggled with the convoy system? And we've lost Monaghan, but we sank an enemy submarine. Oh, for God's sake. And we lose a Raleigh Block II class light cruiser to a mine. Not a great start to the war, but we're still deploying. We're going to have to pause our 2 additional carriers. And we should hang on just long enough to get the Bunker Hills finished at least. So we've lost 3 cruisers since the start of this war already. Haven't sunk anything of note that belongs to Japan. Apparently they've deployed enough forces to Southeast Asia to dominate those waters. The west coast, we're going to grab Hornet. We're going to grab pretty much everything from the west coast, to be honest, and just move it into the Central Pacific. Hopefully they can rendezvous with the rest of the fleet. Or maybe that squadron could go to Southeast Asia, actually, potentially. Yeah, in fact, change of orders. This whole squadron, Southeast Asia for now. Deal with whatever Japan has sent there. Okay, so Bunker Hill. Japan doesn't have any allies or anything, does it? No. Pretty good relations with everybody, but no alliances. What? Again? Oh yeah, because we just lost another light cruiser. Good grief. What? Did I just put that one on trade protection? No, I didn't even. Why? Why is there insufficient tonnage on foreign stations? Well, we're just going to deal with it. Of course they are. Okay, well that was kind of hilarious. I was just taking the chance on the basis that we have ground bases there, but apparently they didn't even actually have any ships. Alright, solid state guidance systems, better missile hit rate. The Nightingale's been upgraded with marginally more firepower. Oh great, they've invaded the Liaotung Peninsula and we've lost Dyer, but we sank a submarine. How many submarines does Japan have? Oh, a lot, okay. This is kind of the first opponent we've faced that actually has a lot of submarines. That's part of our problem here. On the bright side, we have finished USS Bunker Hill, the first of our 18-inch gun battle cruisers. Where's the fleet? Okay, we've reached the west coast. We're headed for the Central Pacific. Which, for the record, the Central Pacific is not your final destination. You should actually all just head straight to Northeast Asia. That's where the fight's going to be. Hopefully they don't take the Liaotung Peninsula before we get there, because that's a lot of our base capacity. Yeah, we'll have problems if they do. Why is there insufficient tonnage on foreign stations? We're going to have to decline. We don't really have any ships there. Franklin is commissioned. Raleigh has condenser trouble. We should obviously answer their insulting offer with steel. Sank an SSM. Well done, Perkins. Alright, the budget is a little more balanced. We can... Well, I was going to say we should resume the carriers, but actually, aside from needing new cruisers, we should probably lay down more destroyers, because I expect to lose some during the war. So, yeah. Let's lay down a half-dozen destroyers just to replace anticipated losses. I mean, we've already lost 2. It's going to be a hell of a carrier battle, let's put it that way. They actually pretty much certainly have significantly more aircraft than us. I don't know if they're better, but... Oops. Actually, do we have any useful data on... Speed 700, firepower 16. Actually, that's their best jet? Huh. Well, if our naval intelligence is accurate, they don't have supersonic jets yet, really. Which would be a significant advantage for us, but we'll see. Hopefully that is true. That's a dangerous place to fight this, but our fleet is apparently here, so here we go, folks. July of 1968. The U.S. fleet arrives in Japanese waters and is immediately challenged. It looks like we are marginally closer to Japanese bases than we are to our own. How many aircraft in Sasebo? All heavy jet fighters, about 60 of them. Honestly, if that's the only base that's in range, I'm not too worried about it. Do we have aircraft in Fusan? Apparently not. We probably should fix that. There's a lot of minefields. Alright, so we have the battleships Massachusetts, Georgia, and North Dakota. Obviously, all of our new 65,000-ton Montana class. Piles of SSMs and AA and SAMs and all that jazz. We have the light cruisers Galveston, St. Louis, possibly others. Oh, I should put ships in divisions. I keep forgetting. The heavy cruiser Savannah, and the battle cruisers Oriskany and United States. And it looks like just 2 carriers, Star Jumper and no wait, they're overlapping each other. How many carriers do I really have? Let's see. Star Jumper, Bennington, Kearsarge, and Yorktown. Plus a couple of aircraft on our cruisers and battle cruisers. So 4 carriers, of which 2 Shangri-La class, 2 Yorktown class. Okay, I just immediately heard gunfire noises. I don't know from what. Oh. Huh. Well, that's rough if you happen to be Transport 6. That's very far away from us, though. I guess we could launch an airstrike in that direction. In fact, perhaps we should prepare to do so. Get all the Douglas destroyers prepped, along with a respectable escort force. Your target will be... How far away is that? 140 nautical miles? Well, that's not really bad. We have plenty more range than that. So go ahead and get ready, I guess. You know, some of us even have Curtis Coronados. I think that's the newer type, if I remember correctly. Okay, ready up. Not quite. Well, okay, clearly something is killing poor Merchant 6. I just don't know if it'll be worth targeting or not. Just because it has missiles doesn't mean that much. Most ships have missiles now. It's 1968. Okay, Warrington is also being hit by missiles. She's up there. So I would say it's probably worth launching an airstrike at those missiles. Yes. Okay. They're coming from this way, so strike target will be about there. And I would say we just launch and hope we get the drop on them, yeah? As soon as we're ready, I mean. We're not ready yet, but I don't see any reason to delay. I mean, there's the alleged report, like, that there's a BB over here. Yeah. I think we launch as soon as we're ready. Which, speaking of which, we're ready. So, launch. Launch. We're launching, yeah. Okay. Hopefully we hit something. We need to get... We only have 4 carriers here. Hopefully that means Japan doesn't have that many in this battle either. But the matchmaker, the battle generator's been known to do unfortunate things sometimes. If this report is about accurate, then we're probably pretty evenly matched in terms of carriers. However, theirs are just as big, if not bigger than ours, so we need to get the drop on them. For once, we might be able to do so thanks to the sacrifice of Warrington, so let's see what we can do. We do also have this battleship formation headed north. I mean, they make... Okay, well, they're not making enough speed right now, but they will make 30 knots when I tell them to. They certainly do not have the gunpowder to stop this formation in a head-to-head battle, but whether we get to range without getting sunk by aircraft is an open question. However, there go our aircraft, destroyers and Hellcats and so on. Do I have the data on my own aircraft? Yeah, the Nightingale and the Coronado are the more recent models, but we just developed them fairly recently, and we haven't replaced the Hellcat and Destroyer yet. That's right. It had been a little while since I played, I don't remember fully. Warrington is very dead. I don't know how she's not officially sinking yet, but there go the strike formations. Oh, I didn't adjust the aiming of the second formation, did I? Well, we're firing at something. All reports suggest they've got 2 to 3 carriers and a battle cruiser up there, so hopefully we flatten something here. If we could take out a formation of that size, it would pretty much not win the war on the spot for us, but it would be a big coup. Which direction? Yeah, I need you to head to right about there, please. And all these cruisers actually should just be subordinated to your escort. They've got pretty good ECM. Well, okay, we've got ECM too, actually. We're getting fired by they're firing a lot of SAMs at us, but it doesn't look like they're hitting us very much, so that's good. The fact they have so many SAMs is a good slash bad sign. It means we're firing at large ships. We didn't actually get that many hits there, I don't think, so apparently ECM on both sides is pretty good. How is our combat air patrol looking? Let's go ahead and move that up to heavy. That's a good search pattern. Okay. I mean, yeah. This is the problem. Now they're gonna hit back. Honestly, if the battleships absorb the fire for the carriers, that would be nice, but we'll see. Um, I'd rather not lose the battleships either, but that might be inevitable. That said, I actually only see 13 aircraft right now, so there's probably more coming, but we even have a bit of a cap around our... okay, there's more, yeah, but definitely not enough of a cap to hold all this off, but oh, great. There is a cap around our carriers, which should be sufficient to deal with that, but we'll see. Oh no. USS Hopkins. Okay. Not exactly an overwhelming first strike from the enemy. Have our aircraft returned? I think they have. Yes. Alright. I think we lost quite a few aircraft. Hard to be sure, though, but... go ahead and ready up for another strike. Same with you guys. And yes, I guess the escorts also should get ready. I kind of neglected that with these. Do we have some escorts to spare? A few. Go ahead, get those ready as well. Make sure you're both targeting the same thing. I'm not sure if you are. No, you're not. Well, yes, you are. You're just separated. Okay. I don't think maybe you actually can't designate separate targets, but... They're attacking a bit piecemeal compared to us. I don't think that's going to be more effective for them, but... Alright, Huntington just took a missile, which hurt a lot. Hopefully she survives. We'll see. I mean, so far as this goes, look, either it'll be decided by aircraft, or... Let's see, we're 80 nautical miles from there. 60, I mean, we've closed about nearly half the distance already. If these ships get in gun range, that's just like almost an I win button. Like, we will obliterate them if we get in gun range. But whether we will is another question entirely. We might just all be sunk before we do. Are we ready to launch? Yes. Launch. We need to keep hitting them, just, you know, with massed strikes. I'm certain that's where their main force is, roughly, although they may have moved north or so, but hopefully our aircraft will still find them. There's not really anything I can do about the airstrikes except hope that our cap and our missile defenses hold up and try to put their carriers out of action as quickly as possible. There goes our next airstrike. Well, that's not the whole thing. They're a little straggly. Oh, there's the other one. Why'd they fly so far north? Whatever. That sounds like gunfire again. I don't know. Oh, it is gunfire again. They're firing on the destroyer Hale, which has ended up next to them somehow. Alright, well, you know what? At least that's proof that they're still right there, 65 nautical miles from our battleships now. Who just reported an unknown radar contact? Oh, don't worry about that. That's the destroyer Paulding. Which, I don't know why some of our destroyers are so scattered all over the place, but dying by running piecemeal into the enemy fleet. Oof. We just lost 2 jets to their SAMs, I think. Well, if I'm reading that right. Hopefully we're keeping them distracted, possibly landing some hits. That's a lot of very specific reports right there. Maybe we turn slightly this way? I mean, it's an overwhelming. All of our air attacks just now say there's a battle cruiser and a couple of carriers right there, so maybe we head that way, yeah? If they're not lying, then we're like almost in gun range, so we are losing a lot of jets to SAMs here and not getting a lot of hits. Neither are they getting a lot of hits, to be fair, so apparently air defense technology has really advanced recently. Which I know it has. All the ships have radar-guided AA and so on now. Okay, that's some targets. Sure enough. Are they all firing at Nicholson? That's kind of sad, yet hilarious, actually. Apparently they missed the battleships right behind her. Well, Nicholson is the sacrificial lamb of the fleet. And Sigourney, I guess. To be fair, that is kind of what screens are for. Do we want to fire back? Feels almost a little pointless at this range. I mean, we can't really tell what any of them are. Well, some of our destroyers could probably fire back at least. Nicholson herself, maybe, before they... See, I like to get the occasional positive ID before I fire off all my missiles. Especially as, wow, that was a spectacular accuracy rate, allegedly. They didn't really hit Nicholson, did they? Nope. Wow. That's kind of incompetent, really. They fired a lot of missiles. Oh, damn it. I feel like near missed by a missile is not going to do that much. A bomb, at least you get a lot of blast damage. Not sure about a missile. I guess, I mean, it's a bomb, but if it near misses, surely it overshoots by miles or something, you know? Okay, Galveston is hurt, but will be fine as long as she doesn't burn to death. Nicholson is probably dead. She got hit by 2 missiles. I don't know where she went, but she might be getting... Oh, there she is. Yeah, probably. Well, if she puts the fires out, maybe. She could still survive. Where are the carriers? That is the critical question right now. We're going to head right down the middle and hope we spot the carriers any moment now. I mean, allegedly they're both there and there, and I doubt they are. I think maybe that's more likely to be them. Oh, wait, never mind. That's one right there. That is a Zoikaku class carrier with 120 aircraft. That is a very worthwhile target. Wow, our jet attack... Yeah, our air formations got pretty savaged in that attempted airstrike. Without really doing that much damage, unfortunately. Apparently, I mean, I don't think there's anything in particular. Maybe we could try carrying special squadrons, but they didn't really hit us much at all either. Apparently, the balance between AA and aircraft has shifted in the last 10 years or whatever since we fought a war. That being said, Zoikaku is now under the guns of, well, 36 16-inch guns, which I think is gonna hurt. Let's give her a taste of what the missile batteries are capable of, shall we? Damn it, we just got hit by a missile. Didn't hurt that much. Ouch! That's gotta hurt. I don't think any ship in real life history has ever been hit by remotely that many missiles, in not just even in quick succession, but probably at all. That's so many missiles. I think we probably got her. I think she's probably dead. Oof. Although we're certainly getting hit by some missiles in return. I'm afraid if I push fire at will, we're just going to waste all our missiles on Zoikaku, though. What do we think? Where do we think the rest of the carriers are? Well, one was in the north. But I feel like there's a pretty good chance that those are the rest. Unfortunately, we're also losing daylight. At least we have one confirmed kill on a carrier. It's going to be hard to catch these two. I guess we go north. Although all the missiles coming out of the formation to our north... Jeez, that's a lot of missiles. Alright. Well... We've got to return fire. I don't really know what we're shooting at, but we've got to return fire at something. Whether we quite know what it is we're shooting at or not. Wait, why are there... Where the hell are those missile trajectories coming from? Coastal ships. Alright, well, fire anyway, I guess. Yeah, a lot of these are just still hitting Zoikaku. Is the problem. Alright, Bainbridge is very dead. A lot of our destroyers have taken significant missile damage, unfortunately. If those are their carriers, we're just going to have to hope that our jets can take care of them, because we can definitely not pursue both targets. I don't have any idea what we're shooting. I mean, the lack of ability to identify any of these ships conclusively is very annoying, but that might have been a destroyer, but it doesn't really... We're just going to have to keep shooting at stuff in the dark here. I mean, on the bright side, although they've been... Well, Massachusetts is a little battered at this point, but although our destroyers have taken a fair bit of damage, and some of our cruisers have taken a fair bit of damage, mostly our battleships are tanking this pretty well. Okay, target roughly there. You ready? Screw it, you'll be fine. We don't actually have night training, so that's going to be a problem, but we got to try something. On the bright side, they pretty much have to be running out of missiles, and they definitely don't have the gunpowder to compete with us, so I'm not too afraid to keep chasing them, but whether it will really do any good, I don't know. There's a torpedo risk still in the dark, we shouldn't forget, even though, you know, it feels like a late date for ship-to-ship torpedoes to be a big thing, but there's still a risk. They are most definitely still a risk. That's literally the opposite of the direction I said to turn, but okay. I mean, we're engaging a bunch of totally unidentified stuff in the dark, so... I don't know. Somebody, for God's sake, hit something with a missile. There we go. Maybe turn a little more sharply. That might be a destroyer trying to torpedo us. Okay, I think that was our carrier, so that's good if so. Turn a little more sharply than that. Damn it. What did I just say? Well, turn back now. I think it's dead on the bright side. I don't know what that just above it is. Is it moving? No. I mean, for all the missiles we've been hit by... Fuck that guy. Yeah. Dang, I don't know if that was actually a battlecruiser or maybe that's down south. I don't know. For all the missiles we've been hit by, the only things we've actually lost for sure are destroyers, I'm pretty sure, so... I mean, this should be a pretty clear win in the end. Ugh. Really? Hopefully she can just go home. She's not hit anywhere near badly enough to sink her, so she should be fine as long as we can cover her. There are a lot of nasty little somethings along the coast over here that we gotta cover her from, though. And our destroyers are not faring well. Not sure what the right compromise so far as the missiles goes is. We're clearly wasting potential. We haven't fired anywhere near all of our missiles yet. But I don't want us to waste them all at the start of the action on random destroyers either. As the enemy mostly did, to be honest. Whoopsies. About to have two battleships collide with each other. I'm sure that's possible to have happen, because I've seen ships collide with each other before, but it's very rare. I'm not quite sure what actually makes it happen in-game. Not that. That. You know what? Just, like, die. I don't think we really hit anything. Probably time to withdraw towards the carriers. Oh, right. Massachusetts is going to be headed for Fusan, isn't she? Well, alright. Let's try to escort her that way then. North Dakota, what are you doing? Do you have rudder damage or something? Engine room? That's not the same. Please turn slightly to port. Well, she's doing her best, I'm sure. Would you please? No. You sure she doesn't have rudder damage? Pretty sure. Well, what's that we think is a CV? Several things, neither of which are CVs, I am pretty much certain. But let's go ahead and fire at it anyway. Maybe it's at least big. Possibly. Probably it's a destroyer. Man, the number of friendly ship hit risks. Hopefully I think we did just hit it at least. Okay, we definitely hit it. Now, North Dakota, would you please turn to port? Pretty please. I don't know why you won't. Damn it. Yeah, no kidding, mine torpedo. I guess it's just the engine room hit or the fire or something, but I don't see why she won't turn. Well, those are a little close. See, a lot of these are going to refuse to fire because of friendly hit risk. Yeah, like almost all of them. Whew, that was lucky. Okay. Please turn. How long does it take to fix a rudder anyway? It's not even a broken rudder, so I don't know what the problem is. There we go. Thank you. Really did not need a prolonged torpedo range engagement with a bunch of destroyers, which is probably what most of that is at night. Oh, great. Please go down to cruising speed and try not to flood yourself. We're just headed for Fusan. She's not really in imminent danger of sinking, but it's still annoying. We're not even at high speed. Shut up. We don't even really have enough aircraft left for a worthwhile airstrike. This CV just fired 9 medium guns at us. I'm beginning to think it's a cruiser, guys, but maybe that's just me. Okay, well, it just died, is what just happened to it. So we have lost a lot of destroyers today. I mean, we've sunk at least one carrier and numerous cruisers. We're definitely the winners, but hopefully we've sunk a lot of their destroyers too, is all I can say. Massachusetts, what the hell are you doing? I can't undetach you, huh? I don't think so, but please continue to the nearest friendly base and not whatever the hell you're doing. Apparently you've just turned to engage the enemy, which would be admirable if you weren't on emergency retreat orders. That being said, you're not actually any more damaged than North Dakota and Georgia, but eh. Okay, we have 3 destroyers and 2 cruisers still with us. We have left a lot of wrecked ships behind. Although there's nothing really that wrong with, like, St. Louis here, or several others, but, I don't suppose you guys are in range to... I don't suppose you guys have any missiles left. St. Louis does not. Sterret does not. Mayerent does not, and Erickson does not. Alright, unhelpful. Unless, does Massachusetts and Savannah? Massachusetts does. Alright, that'll do something, maybe. No hits. Well, we tried. North Dakota. I don't know. Try going 12 knots. Please stop sinking yourself. Massachusetts, that cannot be the correct way to get to Fusan, but you know what? Do whatever. Ah, great. Pretty sure we never killed all their carriers. We killed one large one, but, you know, I like the idea of the detach button, but they don't really take the most optimal route. Hi, Brussels Picker. The war is going... Well, this is the first major battle of it, so I'll let you know in a second. I mean, we lost 2 cruisers at Pearl Harbor and another one to a submarine before we ever got into a real battle, so not ideal in that regard. But it looks like they've all made it to Fusan alive, so that's a good start. Well, jury's out for these guys. Oh, he's not gonna make it. Or she's not gonna make it, but, who are you? You're not gonna make it. But, well, the post-battle screen will tell. We've lost a lot of destroyers today. A lot of destroyers. But our carriers are all perfectly intact. And the enemy carriers are not, so could be worse. You guys should probably head for a different, safer port. Alright. Medium bombers? Like, prop-driven? Okay. Oh, but with missiles. Alright. Maybe they're not really medium bombers. Maybe they just get missiles at this date. Probably they do, I guess. Really? That far away? That's ambitious. Hmm. I have to say, I'm pretty sure since the last war there's been a big increase. I mean, I know there has been a big increase in AA capabilities. Everybody has lots of SAMs and things now, but my air divisions pretty much just got savaged in their attempts to attack the enemy carriers, and I think the same is true of theirs in their attempts to attack mine. I mean, the battle was practically decided by my battleships reaching gun range of their carrier divisions. And honestly, we're lucky to have even technically won that, because we took a lot of missile fire, but we also hit a carrier with a bunch of 16-inch shells, which, yeah, she didn't appreciate. Alright, that's pretty much disengaged now. I don't know why the battle's not ending. They've made it all the way out of there. Good for them. I don't need any more contact reports. We don't even really have enough aircraft left for a decent airstrike anyway. Okay, I see the carriers have just stopped and are floating around over there now. At least the battle cruisers will make it back to base. Guys. We're 600 minutes past the battle end time. Would you just stop already? Oh, great. They're still trying to bomb us. They're really not succeeding either. There we go. Oh no, okay, it's an unequivocal victory. We got 2 carriers? I had no idea we got 2 carriers. Okay, but it's an unequivocal, we've actually crushed them here. Apparently they lost 7 destroyers to our 6 even. So despite all the missiles we took, our total final loss of ships actually sunk amounts to 6 destroyers and a couple of coastal merchants in the straits. We also have 4 destroyers and 2 light cruisers badly damaged, but intact. Several battleships, apparently one of our carriers, and an additional light cruiser and a couple of destroyers took major damage, but will be fine. In return for which they lose 7 destroyers sunk outright, 2 more badly damaged, 4 medium damage, 3 light cruisers sunk outright and another badly damaged, 2 heavy cruisers sunk outright and another badly damaged, and 2 carriers sunk. Also, among aircraft, they had 657. Wow, we did not take as many losses as I thought, actually. We lost 82 jets out of 468, of which most of them were jet attack and most of them were lost to SAMs. They lost 293, of which most of them were lost on ground or ship, though. Yeah. Or up to our cap, but our AA didn't do so much. But we sank a ton of them on the ground. So let's see. The our 6 destroyers, we lost Terry to a missile, basically. USS Hopkins to 7 missiles. Ouchie. USS Bainbridge, 6 missiles. USS Hale, 6-inch gunfire from destroyers and cruisers, mostly destroyers. USS Warrington to 10 missiles. And that's only 5. Where's the other one? Oh. USS Jacob Jones, which is one of our brand new walk classes, unfortunately. 3 missiles and a bunch of 6-inch fire. They lost, let's see, Fumizuki. 1 missile, really. Rudder, fire, and that was a battleship. Good for it. And a few 5-inch hits, and let's see, confused crew mismanages equipment. Fire, fire. Oh, flooding is actually what finished her, though. Natsugumo, 2 missiles. Beginning to think their damage control still isn't as good as ours. Yamagumo, 130 5-inch shells from our destroyers. That'll typically do it. Hanazuki, 3 missiles, which she was actually sinking from the first missile already, but then took 2 more from air attack. Oh yeah, this was an air attack kill. Kikuzuki, 2 missiles, air attack off of Kearsarge. Yayoi, 2 missiles from Nicholson, and a whole bunch of air attack. Well, speaking of which, Nicholson, did she survive? Wow, she did. I guess she only actually took 2 missiles, but she lived. Thanks to... Okay, barely lived, but our beautiful damage control actually worked. Okay, so then aside from those, they lost 3 light cruisers to our 0, which would be... what kind of damage did we survive? Huntington here actually only took 1 missile, which did a lot of flotation damage. Waterline hit off of the carrier Mishima. Galveston took 3 missiles off of various destroyers and things, but survived. Georgia was hit by a missile, which did not do much. Their Atagio here took 12 16-inch rounds, or 9 16-inch rounds, survived. Lucky. Anyway, Yahagi was hit by, looks like mostly the 16-inch gunfire is what did her in, and quite quickly at that. Nitaka was hit by 10 missiles, which I imagine is probably what did the job on her. Yeah, pretty much. Fire's raging out of control. Yeah. And Tatsuda was hit by... Really? Wow. The destroyer USS Hale managed to mag detonate a light cruiser with a 5-inch shell. Good for her. Then heavy cruisers, we sank Nishin with 2 torpedoes, 4 missiles, and 14 16-inch rounds. Which, I mean, the 16-inch shells fundamentally disabled her. And then she was hit by a bunch of missiles just for good measure, which helped finish her off, and the torpedoes were after she was already dead. What happened to Kearsarge? Oh, she was hit by 4 2,500-pound bombs off of the carrier Okinoshima at some point. I didn't even notice. That hurt, but she lived, so that's all that's important, really. Massachusetts took a couple of missiles and a torpedo, and, well, it did hurt, but she came through it. North Dakota took a missile, a torpedo, and a few shells. Also, alright. Mikuma here was apparently just flattened by 10 missiles fired mostly by USS Georgia. So, yeah, the battleships can hit you 2 different ways now. Hurt you 2 different ways, that is. Flooding. Sank. The carriers. Mishima. Okay, Mishima was apparently the Zoikaku class that we fired all those missiles at. Yeah, she did do a number on our air units here. Quite a number on them. So those medium SAMs worked for her. However, well, she got hit by 1 missile from a destroyer off of Kearsarge, and one 16-inch shell from Massachusetts, and then, well, this is actually all air attack. Okay, apparently the air attacks finally got through to her. Oh, in fact, the one missile is what really did her in, isn't it? Fire spreads, fire spreads, fire spreads. The one 16-inch shell hurt too, but she was sinking and was detached before all these missiles finally finished her off. Oh, Japan. Get your damage control straight, guys. Ah, yeah. Sanuki here is the one we hit with all the missiles at close range. 33 missile hits. Plus 27 16-inch rounds. This is the one I knew we killed. I didn't realize we killed Mishima. Because it was mostly from air attack or off screen. This one, wow. One heavy missile from Kearsarge, a destroyer, avgas explosion, fueled aircraft explosion, sinking, apparently a full hour before we came along and decided that we weren't sure if she was dead and hit her with 33 heavy missiles off of half the fleet. But anyway, the net result is a crushing victory. Like, maybe not quite war-winning, but pretty damned good. Thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.